What's good, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how to design a clean, simple logo like this, and then taking it a step further by seeing how we can add it to some creative and cool mockups, all in just a few simple steps. The goal here is to really lock in some design fundamentals while still giving you full freedom to flip the concept and apply it to any of your creative projects you may be working on. I really hope you guys can learn something from this, so be sure to follow along and let's jump right into it. Today's canvas that we're going to be working on is going to be 6,000 pixels by 6,000 pixels, and that's going to be at 300 dpi. And now that we have our canvas, let's go ahead and get this set up so we can begin working on our logo design. So we're going to go up here by our gallery, and we're going to see a little wrench tool, and this is going to be our actions. Let's click on that one time, and then we're going to go to canvas here, and then we're going to go to drawing guide, turn that on, go to edit drawing guide, and then let's go all the way to the end here, and we're going to turn on symmetry, and let's just press the check. And what that does is that creates a symmetry line straight down the middle of our canvas. That's just going to keep everything on track when we're working on our design here. So now we want to take a quick trip to Google, and we're just going to type in wreath vector. And as we see, that's just going to give us a bunch of different options for different wreath styles and variations that we're going to use for building off of our design today. And ideally we want to find one that's just black and white. This is one I found here. So I just want to save this to my photos now. And we're going to go back to Procreate, and then we can go to our actions again, and we're going to go to add, and then we're going to insert photo, and then we can just insert that image right to our canvas, and then we can fit it to our canvas as well. So now that we have our image inserted onto our canvas, obviously it looks very low quality. So I'm going to show you a quick hack how to get a vector image that is black and white to look as crispy and quality as possible through Procreate with just like one or two quick steps. So what we want to do is just go ahead and duplicate this layer, and then we're going to tap on this N, which will bring up our layer styles, and we're going to scroll down until we find the hard mix option. And if we zoom in, we can see that it pixelates all around our image. So it goes from this very blurry to a more high quality, crisp kind of edge. Everything looks a lot more sharper here. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So now from here, what we can do is just merge these two groups together. So this design still has that white background on it from Google. So we want to remove that. So we're just going to go here to our selection tools. So we're going to tap down one time on our white background. And what that does is it selects it, and then we can drag that now right off of our screen. And what that leaves us with is just this black vector that has that sharp pixelated edge that we're looking for. And I think that's looking pretty good so far. And now that we have that, we want to start adding in some text to our design. So we're going to go back to our actions, then we're going to go to add text. And the font that I'm going to be using today is called Cloister Black. I'll be sure to link it in the description below. But this is just a black letter font, and black letter fonts are most notable for kind of being the medieval style fonts. So to start, I'm going to type out a C. And I'm just going to kind of expand that out to size for a second. Just place that right there for now. And let's go ahead and duplicate that C. And I'm also going to type out an S. And this is just going to be CS for Quattro Supply. But I would definitely recommend typing out whatever letters represent you, your brand, or whatever projects you may be working on. But now from here, what we could do is just kind of play around with our C and our S and see how we can get them to overlap pretty seamlessly along with our wreath outline. So we can kind of rotate these letters a little bit. And I think a layout like that looks pretty nice to me. And now from here, what we can do is go back to Google, and we can just find some kind of star symbol so we can copy and paste that into our design as well. And then we're going to paste our star in and drag that down here to the bottom. And we're going to place that right about there. I think that placement looks pretty nice. Now from here, what we could do is group all of this up, and we can rename this our main design. And now that we have our main design, I want to add in a secondary design, and this secondary design is going to be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to add in some more text, still using our Cloister Black font. So now I'm just going to type out a quick quote that I think relates to this concept. So we're just going to type out art saves, and we're going to hold on to this for now. We'll see what we do with this here in a second, but this is going to be our secondary kind of design for now. And let's just go ahead and hide that as well. But going back to our main design, since this main design is looking pretty good, we want to see what this looks like mocked up on some kind of garment. So let's jump right into that now. So here we are still on our same canvas, and for today's mockups, I'm going to be using Quattro's Procreate pack. So I'm just going to go to Quattro's tops, and I think for this I want to use the boxy zip up front, and I'm just going to make sure our size is set to 100, and I'm just going to tap down one time on our screen, and it should appear just like that. Now from here, what we want to do is just align this to the center of our screen as well. So this blue and green dot here at the top will help us keep everything on track and aligned to the center. So we just want to line that up with that symmetry line as best as we can. And it should look something like that when we have our template set. So now what we could do is rename this layer, just call this our outline for now. And let's go ahead and duplicate our outline too while we're at it. And let's lock this top one as well. So now we have our two outline layers. And we also have our designs down here. We're going to revisit those soon, but first let's finish building out our mockup. So now we have our 2 outline layers, and let's go ahead and add in one more layer. And this layer is going to be our color layer. And of course, with our color layer, we want to go ahead and start looking for some color that is going to make up the base of our garment today. I'm thinking of going for some kind of orangish color, probably somewhere in this area, something not too saturated, but I think something like that looks pretty nice. So once we have our color selected, so what we want to do is go ahead and merge this color with our bottom outline layer, and that's just going to be a pinch together, and it should combine the two. And then from here, we want to make sure that we're only working on our mockup and not the entire canvas. So let's go ahead to our selection tool, and we can tap one time in our background and it should change the color, and then that way we can pull it straight off of our canvas like that. And if that doesn't work for you, you might need to adjust your selection threshold. I have a couple other videos where I go into detail about that, so be sure to check those out as well. But now let's go ahead and rename this our base. So now we have our outline, we have our base, and we still have those designs that we're going to be visiting very soon. But now above our base, let's add in one more layer, and we're going to rename this, and let's call this our stripes. And on our stripes layer, of course, we want to start adding in some stripes. So now I'm going to show you how to add in some quick and easy stripes to any design that you may be working on. So let's go up here to our actions, and then we're going to go to drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and we're going to take it from symmetry back to 2D grid now. And we can turn the opacity down on this a lot, also turn the thickness down some as well. And the grid size, we can leave that at about 190. And let's turn on assisted drawing as well. So when these settings are selected, what that allows us to do is only draw straight lines that are on the axis of this grid that we just created. It only draws up and down on that X and Y axis. And that's going to be very helpful, of course, when we're creating straight lines, which are going to make up for our stripes. So on our stripes layer, let's make sure we turn on clipping mask and drawing assist as well. And now we want to find our stripes color. So I think for the stripes, I'm going to choose like a darker kind of blueberry blue. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit. So probably something in that area I think looks really nice. So now what we want to do is go ahead and find the location for our first stripe. So I'm just going to start right up here in the shoulder area, and I'm just going to draw one stripe straight out. And if that thickness looks good to you, then you can run with that. But I'm going to make my stripe a little bit thicker than that, just so we could really fill out this boxy, overweight kind of hoodie. So now I'm just going to draw out another line right below it that is connecting. And I think that thickness looks pretty good to me. So now what we could do on our stripes here is duplicate this stripe layer. So now we have 2 stripes, but we don't see the 2 because they're overlapping. So we want to go to our arrow tool, and on uniform, I'm just going to drag it down some. And we want to make sure the space between is about the same size as the stripes as well. That consistent look is kind of the look that I'm going for. As we see here, there's going to be a little bit that's missing on our stripes as well. So we can just go back through and fill that in as well. So what we could do is merge these 2 stripes together, and let's go ahead and duplicate this again. So now we have 4 stripes, and now we're going to take these 2 stripes and move these ones down as well. Again, just making sure the spacing in between stays very consistent between, and that's looking pretty nice so far. And we're just going to continue that same kind of duplicating and adjusting all the way down, all the way up, however far you want to go. But I'm going to fill in the entirety of this hoodie. So let's just go ahead and finish this out now. And then I'm going to merge all of these together. And of course, like I said, there's a couple gaps that we just need to fill in. So I'm just going to go through really quick and fill these little gaps in. And like I said, it makes it a lot easier when we have that drawing assist on, so we could just get right to the straight line and we don't have to do too much finessing or anything. So now we have a majority of this bottom kind of part filled out. So now what I want to do is just add in one more stripe, and I'm just going to draw this one by hand right up here by the collar. No need to duplicate all of it again because we already did that all the way down. So we can just draw this straight out. And I think for this too, I'm just going to fill in our entire hood now. So I'm going to keep our entire hood blue instead of having stripes on the hood as well. And we could just kind of paint that right in like such, and making sure we get these little areas as well. And it should look something like that. So now we're just about done with this grid. So now we can go back to our drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and let's go back to symmetry now. And those are the 2 that I usually cycle between a lot with my designs, the symmetry and the 2D grid. Now back on our symmetry though, what we can do is fill in our ribbing, because our ribbing is going to be seamless on both. So we can, of course, fill that in on both. And also this bottom ribbing as well, we want this to be blue. So let's go ahead and fill that in as well, like that. Okay. And I think the stripe pattern is looking great. Now I'm just going to make a quick adjustment. So let's go to our arrow tool really quick. And we're going to go to our warp here at the end. And we're just gonna slightly warp this just a little bit, just so we can get a little bit of curve on our hoodie here. That's gonna make it look a little bit more realistic. So we don't wanna curve it too much, but just give it a slight little curve. And we might need to go through and make a couple adjustments from here as well, which is fine. I'm just gonna go through and make sure everything still fits where it needs to fit. Make sure I get back in this hood area as well. Now that this is looking nice, what we can do is revisit that main design that we created. So let's just hide all of this really quick and go to our main design. And let's just swipe left, and then we're gonna duplicate this, and then we can tap on it one time, and we're just gonna flatten this group, and we can rename this our design now. Let's turn back on our mockup stuff. Now let's drag this design that we just flattened on top of all of our mockup stuff, and we're going to now figure out where we want to place this. But before we do that, let's just tap one time, and we're gonna go ahead and invert it to white, because I think the white will really make the design pop. So now let's just decrease this to size, and we can see from here where we want this to go. So whether we want that to be a big center design, we could do something like that. Even if we wanted to make this go on the back, we could also have done that. I think for this, I'm just gonna put it on this side of the chest here. I think that looks pretty nice. And then also from here, we can bring back in that art saves as well. So let's duplicate that from our background and just drag that right in as well. Now that we have our art saved, let's tap on this one time and rasterize it. And we're going to invert it as well. And this is going to make up our sleeve design. So we're going to rotate this, and we're going to shrink this to size some. And then also we want to make sure that our design, our art saves are on our clipping mask all the way down to our base, and they're connected. So that means that it only shows on our mockup and it doesn't show in our background. And then from here, we can just adjust this to fit right onto our sleeves like that. Okay, so I think that sleeve design looks pretty nice. I think our main design, I'm gonna put this right about there. I think that's looking nice. So now we want to add in some extra details to this mockup now to really make it pop and stand out. Now before we add in some details to this mockup, let's go ahead and merge our two designs together. So our sleeve design and our chest design. And that's what we call preserving your layer economy, just so we have enough space to work on the other things that we need to work on as well, while not taking up too much space on our actual layers here, because it can get very messy. So let's add in another layer. And on this layer, we're going to rename this our shadows. And I always get the question, what brush do I use for my shadows? The brush that I use is the Acid Wash 1 brush from Quatro's Brushes, which is basically just a soft round brush. Gives you a lot of variation, so you can go very light with it, or you can go super heavy, super dark with it. So we want to make sure that's set to clipping mask and drawing assist as well. And I'm going to turn our opacity slightly to about 75. And now just following the natural curve of our mockup, I'm going to start going around and just kind of lightly coloring in just around the edges. Usually right around these edges is where a lot of the shadows would fall if this were a real piece, which is kind of what we're trying to imitate, of course, with our mockups, and do our best job to see what this would look like in a real life context. So like I said, just going around all of these edges on the shoulders and the sleeves, and even some down here on the body as well. And after we add in our shadows, it should look something like that. So now let's add in one more layer. Let's call this layer our texture. And we're going to revisit that orange color that we started with, but we're going to make it a lot lighter. So we're just going to go for like a peachish color. And now I want to find the rough wash brush from Quatro's Brushes. I'm just going to start kind of coloring lightly over everything. And as we see, that's adding in a nice bit of like acid wash kind of texture that I think looks really nice with these kind of stripe designs. And don't mind being too heavy with it at first, because of course, anything that you add to it, you can of course take away. And I think actually taking it away gives it a nice bit of texture as well. So I'm just going to erase a good bit of this texture now that we just created. And now back in our layers, I also want to make sure our texture layer is below our shadows, so we can still get a good punch of those shadows as well as a good bit of texture too. And after that, I just want to add in one more quick detail that I think will look really nice. And this is going to be a quick way to add in a drawstring. So let's just rename this our strings. And I'm going to turn this on drawing assist. And I'm going to start here and just draw a straight line straight down to right about there. And then from here, we can add a little bit of like a squiggle to it. That'll kind of create that nice drawstring effect to it. Now that we have that shape kind of lined out, I'm going to go back up here to our string section. I changed my color to black, and I'm going to draw out a semicircle, but make sure I hold it at the end. And any shape that we draw in Procreate, when we hold it at the end, don't pick up our pencil, leave it on our screen. That gives us the ability to adjust it to whatever shape that we need it to be. Of course, have this kind of ellipse shape, so we can kind of tweak that to be the eyelet that is going to be showing where that drawstring is coming from. And I think that looks pretty cool. I'm going to go back to our shadows really quick. Again, have our brush selected, and I'm just going to add in some shadows for this drawstring just so it looks a little bit more realistic. And that's just going to be, you know, a little bit of shadow behind it just so it looks like it's really sitting on our hoodie, of course. And yeah, after we add in those last couple of details, I think that pretty much wraps up our design for today. If you guys learned something, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all those good things. The mockups and brushes that I use in this video and other products of mine are available now on my website at quattrosupply.com. So if you're interested, definitely be sure to check those out. And there's also a lot we didn't get to go over today, which is fine. Just be sure to leave a comment below of what you want to see more of, and I got you with that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.